Happy Friday and welcome back to the channel. So I have a video for you before you go into the weekend. So we're going to continue with simultaneous equations. And today we're going to be dealing with some worded problems. So I've already written the questions down here. So what we're going to do now is to solve these questions to the side. So these here are the questions that we have. So the first question is for us to find two numbers with a sum of 15 and a difference of 14. So we are going to solve question number 1 just here. So we are supposed to find two numbers with a sum of 15 and a difference of 14. So let's just call those two numbers u and v. So now u plus v is equals to 15. That is the sum. Then the difference of these two numbers is supposed to be 4. So u minus v is equals to 4. And this is a very simple equation. So we're just going to solve it by elimination. So since the coefficient of u and u in both the equations, equation 1, 1 and 2 are the same. Yeah, so it seems like this part of the screen. I can't write beyond it. So since they're the same, we can just subtract the two equations from each other. So u minus u gives us just a 0. Then v minus v is going to give us 2v, because that is v minus v. Then this becomes a positive, and it becomes just 2v. Then 15 then 15 minus 4, we're going to get 11. Then 2v is equals to 11. Then we divide by 2 both sides. We divide by 2 both sides. Then v is equals to 5.5. So that is our v. Now let's find our u from that equation. So our u is therefore, let's take equation 1 to use to find u right there. So from equation 1, u plus v is equals to 15. And we know that v is 5.5. So u plus 5.5 is equals to 15. And u is equals to 15 minus 5.5. So what I get here is that u is equals to 9.5. So now you have your system of solutions. The system of solution is simple. So u is equals to 9.5. Then v is equals to 5.5. And you can check it from the equations above. If you add the two numbers, they give you 15. If you subtract them, they give you 4. So it looks okay to me. So now let's solve the second equation now on the same space that we have here. So now equation number 2 says that the equation of a line, so we are solving equation number 2. The equation of a line y is equals to ax, y plus ax is equals to c, passes through the points 1.5 and the 3.1. So find a and b. So you are given that the equation of a line, I don't know, it's just because of the way I'm used to writing it, y plus ax is equals to c. And from those 2 points, let's call point a to be 1, 5. So this becomes x1 and y1. Then point B is 3, 1. This becomes x2, y2. So now we're going to substitute point A into that equation. Then we're going to substitute point B into that equation. And we're going to form two equations that we're going to solve simultaneously. So when you substitute point A, so y in point A is 5. So 5 plus A times x is 1, is supposed to be equals to C. So that is 5 plus A is equals to C. So this becomes your equation number 1. Then now we're going to substitute equation B into the equation above there. Then y there is going to be 1 plus A times x is 3. This is equals to what? C. So what we're going to get is 1 plus 3A is equals to C. So that is equation number 2. So we're going to solve the two equations that we formed here simultaneously. So we're going to have 5 plus A equals to C, and 1 plus 3A equals to C. So what we're going to do here, I'm just going to subtract the two equations so that we can eliminate C, since the coefficient of C in both the equations are the same. So we're just going to subtract. Then 5 minus 1, that is going to be 4. Then A minus 3A, that is going to be minus 2A, is equals to 0. So what this gives us now is 4 minus 2A is equals to 0. Then we add 2A both sides. And what we get from that is that 4 is equals to 2A. Then we divide by 2 both sides, and we divide by 2 both sides. This becomes 2. That's 1. So our A is equals to 2. And from this equation now, we can find C. So let's substitute into equation number 2 to find C. So 1 plus 3A is equals to C. So 1 plus 3 times 2 is equals to C. So 3 times 2, that's 6, plus 1, that's 7. So C is equals to 7. So when you've done this, you've solved equation number 2. So I think that was simple and straightforward for you. So I believe it's not that much of a problem now. So now we've solved question number 2. Let's go into question number 3. So we are told that a television addict can buy either 2 televisions and 3 video recorders for $1,750, or 4 televisions and 1 video recorder for $1,250. Find the cost of each one of them. So we are supposed to find the cost of a television or the cost of a video recorder. So to do this, we're going to say that a television, we're going to assign it television. We're going to assign it the variable. Let's call it T. Then video recorder, we're going to assign it the variable V. So from this equation that we have here, we are told that they can buy 2 televisions. That is going to be 2T plus 3 video recorders. So that is 3V for 1,750. So 1,750. That is your equation number 1. Then also we are told that they could also buy 4 televisions plus 1 video recorder, which is just a single V, for 1,250. That is equation number 2. And we are supposed to find T and V, or the cost of a television. So to do that, it's going to be very simple. Let's take equation number 2 and make V subject of the formula. To make V subject of the formula on equation number 2, we subtract 4T this side and subtract 4t this side. Then we have the equation written as now V is equals to 1,250 minus 4t. And after doing this now, we take this and substitute it onto equation number 1. So when you substitute it into equation number 1, we are going to have 2t plus 3, then V is going to be this component here. That is 1,250 minus 4t is equals to 1,750. Then after this, we are going to expand this component that we have here. So let's expand the components that we have right there, which is fairly simple. I'm going to use my calculator on the phone. So we have 2t. I didn't intend to write with green, but let's go ahead with it. So we have 3 times 1,250, which is 3,750, minus 3 times 4, that is going to be minus 12t, is equals to 1,750. So let's switch back to blue. So here we are going to collect like times that, and that are like times. So that is going to be 2t minus 12t, that is going to be 10t minus 10t is equals to, then we subtract 3,750 both sides. So you can just use your calculator or you do mental arithmetics. You guys, you are the masters of mental arithmetics. I think I've grown a bit lazy with the years to do mental arithmetics, but it's fine. So the negative cancels the negative. Then this 10 cancels that 0 there. So we have t is equals to 200. So what this means is that the cost of a television, we could write it as $200. Now we have to find V. So V is equals to, let's look at that equation that we wrote. It's 1,250 minus 4t. So let's just substitute t into that. That's 1,250 minus 4 times t, which is 200. So V is equals to 4 times 200, that's 800. When we have 800 right there, so it's 1,250 minus 800. So when you subtract 800, you're going to be left with 450. So what this tells us is that for the video recorder, its cost is 450, and you can actually check it by substituting into the equations that we had up there. So at this point, you've solved the question. So let's go back to the other questions, and let's get rid of these. Today, I don't want to scroll too much on the page, so I'm going to be writing what I've solved. So now, question number 4. Question number 4. So we are told that the wage bill of 5 men and 6 women is 6,700, while the bill for 8 men and 3 women is 6,100 US dollars. So it's also very simple. So men, you're just going to give them M as a variable to represent the number of men. And then for women, the variable we're going to use is W. So now we are told that it's 5 men, so that is going to be 5M plus how many women? 6 women, 6W. Their wage bill is 6,700. That is going to be equation number 1. Then we also have the wage bill of 8 men. That is going to be 8M plus 3 women. 3W. The wage bill is going to be 6,100. That is going to be 2 right there. So we are supposed to find the value of M and W. So the choice is ours, which method we would like to use. So what I'm going to do here, it's fairly simple. I'm going to multiply the top equation by 1 and the bottom equation by 2, so that we can make the bottom part 6W and the top part to remain 6W. So that is simple. We are going to just do this. So the top part, we're going to multiply it by 1, then the bottom part we multiply it by 2. So we're going to have 5M plus 6W is equals to 6,700. And also we're going to have 2 times 8, that is going to be 16M plus 6, that is W, not M. Pardon me for that. That is going to be 6W is equals to 6,100. So we multiply that becomes 12,200. Yeah. So now we can just easily subtract the 2. So we do a simple subtraction here to eliminate the W. So 5 minus 16M, that is going to be minus 11M. Then we have a 0 there, is equals to 6,700 minus the other value that we have right there. So you guys are good mathematicians, unlike me. So just do the quick subtraction. I'm doing it on my phone. Like I told you earlier, I have grown to become lazy. I don't like doing a lot of mental arithmetics. I've done my fair share while I was still in high school and in my undergraduate years. So now I let the machines do the work for me. So M is 500. Then W becomes, so we take the first equation, that equation. So we are going to solve it from the first equation. So we have 5M plus 6W is equals to 6,700. We substitute that into the equation, plus 6W is equals to 6,700. So this is going to give you 2.5, 2,500 plus 6W is equals to 6,700. So what we're going to do, pardon my sloppy handwriting. So we're going to subtract this both sides, and we're going to subtract this both sides. We're going to be left with 6W is equals to 6,700 minus 2.5. You can do the calculations on the side. Like I told you earlier, I've grown to become very lazy. So yeah, we do it that way. Then I divide by 6, we divide by 6. Yeah. So the women are earning, yeah, that's 700. So what this means is that the salary of men is going to be $500. Then for women is going to be $700. So that is that. Now let's get to question number 5. I think that would be the last question. I kind of like chose this question because I'm a mechanical engineer and I love these kind of questions. So I did a bit of this when I was studying dynamics. So we are told that a fish can swim at 12 meters per second with the current, and 6 meters per second with the current. I mean, against the current. So now what we are going to do now is draw a diagram that is going to help us. So we don't know the velocity or the speed at which the fish is moving at, but we know it's some certain velocity f, that is the velocity of the fish, as it moves with the current. And also we know that the current is moving in the same direction as the fish. So that is c. What we know here is that this whole length here, which is the vector for the speed, is 14 meters per second. That is what we know. And from the diagram, you can actually see it because the fish is moving with the current. So the current has a certain speed and the fish has a current speed, it has a certain speed. So when you combine those two, you get 14 meters per second. And we are also told that the fish going against the current now. So this would be the velocity of the fish is still the same as in the first one, but now it's going against the current. So now the current is going to be a vector that is going in the opposite direction. Yeah, it's still that c that we had there. So we still have f here and we have c, and this little part that remains here, the difference here, is going to be 6 meters per second. And from these two diagrams, we can actually come up with two equations. So in the first one, we can see that f plus c is going to give you 14 meters per second. And in the second one, we can see that f minus c is going to give you 6 meters per second. And this is actually, I don't even need to put the dimensions on this equation here. Yeah. So when it's like this, you can just simply solve it by elimination. We subtract the two equations since f has the same coefficient. So f minus f is just 0. Then c minus minus c, remember, always remember, don't throw away the negative. C, the two negatives gives you a positive. So this gives you 2c. Always remember that. 2c is equals to 14 minus 6. That is going to give you 8. Then dividing by 2, you have c is equals to 4. Then now you can substitute into either that equation or this equation to find the other value. Let's substitute on the second equation. So f minus c is equals to 6. So we know c, f minus 4 is equals to 6. So f is equals to, then we add 4 here, we add 4 there. This becomes 0, that becomes 10. So we know the speed of the fish. So the speed of the fish is going to be 10 meters per second. Then the speed of the current is going to be 4 meters per second. And with that, we are done with today's tutorial. And I hope you're going to enjoy your Friday and keep on preparing.